what if the quiet words you speak to yourself are not just describing your life, but secretly scripting it? This is not about positive thinking. It's about a neurological truth. Your nervous system is listening. Every sentence you repeat, especially in private, is a signal, a rehearsal that your body believes is real. It then prepares, acts, and attracts circumstances to match that signal. Two people face the same situation. One speaks from quiet certainty, the other from hesitant history. Reality doesn't choose sides. It responds to coherence. The tone of your language sets your direction long before results show up. This is how transformation unfolds. Not in loud breakthroughs, but in the quiet, daily repetitions of your inner voice. When your words, thoughts, and feelings finally align, reality stops resisting. It reorganizes. Opportunities feel natural. Decisions feel obvious. You are no longer waiting for life to change. You change the signal first, and the world, patient and responsive, begins to listen differently. Your journey to that profound alignment starts now.
There is a moment most people pass through every single day without ever realizing its importance. A moment so ordinary it hides its power in plain sight. A moment that happens every time you speak, especially when no one else is around to hear you. In that moment, something deeper than thought is listening, not judging, not questioning, just absorbing. Your words are not floating into nothing. They are landing somewhere inside you, settling into the nervous system, echoing through the body, shaping how reality responds next. Most people believe life happens first and words come later, as commentary, as reaction. But what if it has always been the other way around? What if the quiet sentences you repeat under your breath are not describing your life, but scripting it? Think about how a story forms. It starts with a tone before it ever has an ending. Your life is no different. The tone of your language sets the direction long before results show up. When you say things like, "This always happens to me," or "Nothing ever changes," or "I will try and see what happens," it may sound harmless, even realistic. But the body hears something else. It hears expectation. It hears familiarity. It hears a signal about what is safe to prepare for. And the body always prepares faithfully. This is why two people can face the same situation and experience completely different outcomes. One speaks from quiet certainty, even without proof. The other speaks from waiting, from hesitation, from history. Reality does not choose sides. It simply responds to coherence. Your nervous system is constantly asking one question: what is the world like? Your language answers it again and again, and whatever answer you repeat most often becomes the lens through which everything else is filtered. This is not motivation in the shallow sense. This is orientation. Think of a child learning to walk. At first, the body does not trust itself. Movements are awkward, balance is uncertain. But no one tells the child to wait until they're confident. They repeat the motion again and again and again until the body no longer questions it. Speech works the same way. When you begin speaking with calm conviction, not loudly, not desperately, but steadily, something begins to shift beneath awareness. The body starts to believe the future is already familiar, and familiarity creates ease. Ease changes behavior. Behavior changes results. This is how transformation actually unfolds, not in dramatic moments, but in quiet repetitions. The way you speak when you wake up, the way you explain your situation to yourself, the way you describe what is coming next, these are not neutral habits, they are rehearsals. And the body does not know the difference between rehearsal and reality. It only knows repetition and emotional tone. When your words carry certainty, the body begins to move as if the outcome is inevitable. Posture changes, breathing deepens, attention sharpens. You stop waiting for permission, you start acting from alignment. And this is the moment language becomes power, not because the universe is magical, but because you are no longer divided inside yourself. When thought, speech, and sensation move in the same direction, reality stops resisting. It reorganizes. Opportunities feel natural instead of forced. Decisions feel obvious instead of heavy. This is why some people seem to glide forward while others struggle endlessly. It is not effort, it is agreement. Agreement between what is said and what is felt. When you speak as if something is done, not with arrogance but with grounded calm, you are not pretending, you are instructing your system on how to behave. And once the system believes, life follows. Slowly at first, quietly, almost invisibly, until one day you realize the world has shifted, not because it changed its rules, but because you changed the way you spoke to it. And in that moment, without fireworks or drama, reality begins listening differently. Because for the first time, you are speaking with a voice that knows where it is going.
As the days move forward and you continue speaking in this new way, something begins to rearrange itself beneath the surface of your life, quietly, patiently, without asking for your attention. At first, it may seem like nothing is happening at all. The world looks the same, the routines are familiar, the problems still exist. But internally, the atmosphere has shifted. There is less inner resistance, less mental noise pulling you in different directions. You are no longer negotiating with yourself every morning about who you need to be today. A decision has already been made, somewhere deeper than thought. This is where real change begins, not in dramatic breakthroughs, but in subtle internal agreements. Most people believe power comes from pushing harder, speaking louder, wanting more intensely. But true power is steady. It does not rush. It does not need to convince. Think of the calm presence of someone who has been through difficulty and emerged grounded. They don't explain themselves. They don't overpromise. When they speak, their words feel settled, as if the outcome has already been accepted by their body. That is the frequency you begin to carry when your language becomes consistent. You stop narrating your fears and start orienting yourself toward inevitability. Not wishful thinking, but quiet expectation. This is the difference between hoping and knowing. The body does not respond to hope. Hope is uncertain. The body responds to familiarity. When you repeatedly say things like, "I handle challenges well," or "I find my way forward," or "things tend to work out for me," you are not trying to impress the universe, you are training your nervous system. Over time, these sentences stop feeling like statements and start feeling like facts. And when something feels factual, behavior changes automatically. You begin to move differently through situations that once felt heavy. You pause instead of panic. You choose instead of react. You rest instead of collapse. These shifts may seem small, almost unremarkable, but they compound. This is how lives change without anyone noticing until it is already done. Identity does not transform through grand declarations. It transforms through repetition, through the quiet phrases you return to again and again. Your casual speech is not casual at all. It is a record of what you assume to be true about yourself and the world. Listen closely to what slips out when you are tired, when things don't go as planned, when you feel pressure. Those phrases are not honesty, they are habit, and habits are not permanent. The moment you interrupt an old phrase and choose a new one, discomfort arises. It feels artificial, unnatural. That discomfort is not a sign you are doing it wrong. It is a sign the system is adjusting. You are introducing a new pattern where an old one used to dominate. If you stay with it,
gently, consistently, without force, the resistance dissolves. The body stops questioning, it starts cooperating. This is when words become embodiment. You don't just say you are resilient, you respond as someone who expects to recover. You don't just say you are capable, you act as someone who trusts their ability to figure things out. This is why repetition matters more than emotion. A calm sentence repeated daily reshapes reality more effectively than a dramatic declaration spoken once. As this continues, your inner dialogue becomes simpler, quieter, less crowded with arguments and explanations. And when the inner noise fades, perception sharpens. You begin noticing opportunities that were always present but invisible to a mind trained to expect struggle. It is not that the world suddenly changes, it is that you finally see clearly. Language refines perception, perception guides action, action produces results. The cycle begins feeding itself. And slowly, almost gently, you realize your life feels different. Not perfect, not effortless, but aligned, as if it finally matches the way you speak about it. This is the quiet strength of conscious language, not controlling reality, but cooperating with it. And once you experience this shift, even briefly, something settles inside you. You understand that you are no longer waiting for life to change before you move forward. You are changing the signal first, and reality, patient and responsive, has already begun to adjust.
As this way of speaking becomes woven into your daily life, something deeper begins to reveal itself. Something that goes beyond motivation or mindset and moves into perception itself. You start to notice that reality has always been responding long before you were consciously aware of it. The world was never silent. It was simply reflecting back the tone you were offering. This realization doesn't arrive as a sudden shock. It unfolds slowly, like remembering something you once knew and forgot. You begin to see how every word you've spoken carried an assumption beneath it, and how those assumptions quietly shaped what felt possible, what felt allowed, what felt inevitable. This is where many people have a subtle awakening. They realize they were never stuck because of circumstances. They were anchored by language that kept reaffirming the same story. Not because the story was true, but because it was familiar. Familiarity is powerful. The body trusts what it hears repeatedly, even if it limits you, especially if it limits you. This is why old patterns feel safe, even when they are painful. They are predictable, and the nervous system prefers predictability over freedom. When you begin speaking differently, you are not just changing words, you are challenging what the body believes is safe. That is why the early stages feel uncomfortable. You might notice moments where your old language tries to come back automatically, especially under stress. Phrases like, "this always happens," or "I knew it would go wrong," or "I'm just not built for this." These moments are not setbacks, they are thresholds. Each time you pause and choose a different way of speaking, even softly, even imperfectly, you weaken the old pattern and strengthen the new one. Over time, this changes how you experience time itself. You stop living only in reaction to the past. You stop projecting fear into the future. Your words anchor you into a present state that feels more spacious, more responsive. This is where speech begins to affect not just outcomes, but awareness. You start observing your inner dialogue instead of being pulled along by it. And in that observation, a new kind of freedom appears. You realize you are not your thoughts. You are the one choosing which thoughts get repeated. Science touches this truth in its own way. The brain strengthens the pathways it uses most often. What you repeat becomes efficient. What becomes efficient becomes automatic. Language is one of the strongest signals the brain receives.
When you consistently speak with clarity and calm certainty, you are literally reshaping neural patterns. Attention reorganizes, emotional responses soften. The body becomes less reactive and more responsive. This is not abstract, you can feel it. Situations that once triggered immediate tension now create space. Space to choose, space to breathe, space to respond intentionally. And in that space, your sense of identity shifts. You are no longer the person bracing for impact. You become the person who expects to adapt. This expectation changes everything. When challenges arise, you don't collapse into old narratives. You speak from a different place. You say things like, "I'll handle this," or "I'll learn from this," or "This will pass." These sentences are not optimism, they are orientation. They tell your system what direction to move in, and the system obeys. Over time, your relationship with reality feels less adversarial. You stop feeling like life is something happening to you. It starts feeling like something you are participating in. This is a profound shift. It does not make you passive, it makes you precise. You become more aware of how you use your voice, both outwardly and inwardly. You understand that every sentence is a choice, and that choice carries weight. Not because the universe is fragile, but because you are influential. This awareness naturally deepens into something quieter, almost sacred. You begin speaking less, but with more intention. You stop filling silence with worry. You stop explaining yourself unnecessarily. Your words slow down, they settle, and in that settling, you feel more present, more grounded, more connected. This is where speaking consciously turns into living consciously. You are no longer trying to change reality through effort. You are aligning with it through awareness. And as this alignment stabilizes, you sense that something fundamental has shifted. You are no longer at the mercy of unconscious language. You are awake to it. And once you are awake, you cannot unknow it. You carry this awareness into every interaction, every challenge, every quiet moment alone. You begin to feel a deeper trust, not blind trust, but embodied trust, the kind that doesn't need reassurance, the kind that knows it can respond to whatever comes. And from this place, reality feels less like a problem to solve and more like a conversation you finally know how to participate in. As you continue moving through life with this awareness of speech, something extraordinary begins to emerge, a current beneath the surface that you didn't know existed, a quiet force that has always been present, patiently waiting for your recognition. You start noticing patterns everywhere, not in a sudden, dramatic revelation, but in subtle shifts that catch your attention over time. The timing of events feels different. Conversations seem to flow more effortlessly. Moments that once frustrated or confounded you now carry clarity. You begin to see, with a sense of quiet awe, that reality has always been responding, not to your hopes, your plans, or even your effort, but to the assumptions encoded in the language you habitually use. Every word you have ever spoken, every phrase, every internal narrative has been leaving an imprint on your consciousness, signaling to your body, your mind, and the world around you what to expect, how to respond, and what to allow. And now, for the first time, you understand that this is not a limitation, it is a tool, a key to participation in life itself. The realization hits slowly at first. Nothing external has ever truly controlled you. It is the alignment of your own speech, your inner narrative, your consistent voice that has orchestrated your experiences all along. And when you begin to speak consciously, deliberately, not out of desperation or performance, but from a grounded certainty, the nervous system begins to recalibrate. At first, this recalibration feels strange. Old patterns of speech resist, slipping out like ghosts of habit. I can't do this, it's too hard, nothing ever works out. But with awareness and gentle persistence, each time you replace those phrases with ones of alignment, like I am capable, I handle challenges with clarity, opportunities reveal themselves that were always present but hidden behind your habitual assumptions. The changes at first are subtle. A conversation that once felt tense now flows with ease. A decision that would have felt heavy now feels natural. A door you never noticed before opens without struggle. But over time, the subtle accumulates, and suddenly life begins to feel responsive, as if it has been waiting for you to find this alignment all along. You begin to realize that every interaction, every circumstance, every encounter reflects back the assumptions you have been broadcasting through your speech. Life is not an adversary, it is a mirror, silently echoing the tone, rhythm, and certainty of your inner narrative. And when you consistently speak with clarity, conviction, and emotional resonance, the body, the mind, and the world around you respond in kind. Fear softens, tension melts, perception sharpens, and action becomes fluid rather than forced. You notice opportunities that were always there but invisible before, patterns in people and events that now feel obvious, pathways that were once obscured now illuminated. Time itself feels different, more expansive, more malleable, as if your words have created a framework in which life can unfold with harmony rather than resistance. In these moments, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Even challenges that once felt insurmountable begin to carry lessons and openings. And as you notice this, a quiet confidence arises, not of ego, but of alignment, a sense that you are no longer waiting for life to grant permission, that you are no longer at the mercy of circumstances, that the universe has been listening all along, patiently, and is now echoing back the frequency you have been cultivating with your speech, your presence, and your awareness. And in this realization, a deep, almost sacred peace settles into you. You no longer need to strive, to push, to force outcomes. You simply speak, you simply act, you simply exist in alignment with your own inner certainty. Life, which once felt heavy, resistant, and unpredictable, now begins to feel like a responsive partner, a dance that follows the rhythm of your voice, a reflection of the coherence you are creating within yourself. And this awareness, this lived understanding, becomes the quiet power that guides every word you speak, every thought you think, every action you take, until your life itself becomes an embodiment of the alignment you have been cultivating all along. A life that listens to you, mirrors you, and responds to the frequency of your consistent, conscious, and deliberate voice.
And then, after days, weeks, perhaps months of consistently aligning your speech, your inner narrative, and the tone of your presence, a subtle but undeniable shift begins to settle deeply into every layer of your being. It is a shift you may not notice at first because it is quiet, patient, and internal. But one morning you wake and realize that the tension you carried for years, the tension of doubt, of uncertainty, of waiting for life to grant permission, has loosened. You notice a clarity in how you move, how you breathe, how you think, as if the body itself has recalibrated to a new frequency, a frequency tuned to certainty, coherence, and deliberate alignment. You realize with a calm yet intense awe that life has never been separate from you, never a force to resist or a problem to solve. It has always been listening, waiting for you to speak in a voice that carries consistency, resonance, and presence. And that voice is not the voice you use in public, not the voice molded by expectation, not the voice shaped by past disappointments or fears. It is the voice of your truest self, the voice that emerges when thought, feeling, and intention converge in harmony. When words are no longer tossed casually into the world, but spoken deliberately, with conviction, and with emotional weight that the body cannot ignore.
And in that voice, reality begins to respond. It does not negotiate, it does not argue, it mirrors the coherence, the clarity, and the calm certainty you transmit. You begin to notice that doors, situations, and relationships start to align in ways that were invisible before. Opportunities that once seemed random now appear as patterns, as invitations, as outcomes quietly orchestrated by the voice you have been cultivating. Challenges no longer hit with the same force because you have shifted your internal orientation. They now arrive as teachers, as signals, as openings for growth, for awareness, for alignment. Time itself seems to stretch and bend in subtle ways. Moments become expansive, possibilities multiply, and your perception sharpens to detect pathways that were always there, hidden behind the fog of habitual language and reactive thought. You begin to understand that this is not magic, it is the natural law of consciousness, the principle that the body, mind, and universe respond to the resonance you carry consistently through speech and intention. And this understanding brings a profound, almost sacred peace. It is a peace that does not depend on circumstances, results, or validation, because it comes from the deep knowing that you are awake, that you are aware, and that you are actively participating in the creation of your experience in every moment. You see, transformation has never been about force, struggle, or chasing outcomes. It has always been about alignment, repetition, and deliberate resonance. Every word you speak, every phrase you rehearse internally, every sentence that flows from your awareness is a signal to the nervous system, to consciousness itself about what is real, what is possible, and what is inevitable. And as you embody this understanding fully, life no longer feels like something happening to you. It feels like a dance in which you are a co-creator, a conductor, a participant whose frequency is shaping the melody of your reality. The gap between who you are and what you experience collapses. Past limitations dissolve, old fears lose their grip, and in this quiet, profound moment, you realize something extraordinary, that from now on, every word you speak is a tool of transformation, every thought carries direction, and every action aligns with the reality you are already calling into being. You are no longer separate from life, no longer struggling against circumstance, no longer waiting for proof or permission. You are awake, fully present, and speaking in a way that reality cannot help but respond to. And in that response, the world itself seems to pause and echo back to you the power, coherence, and certainty that you have cultivated within. This is not a moment of drama, nor a temporary feeling of motivation. It is a deep, calm, unshakable knowing, a shift in perception so profound that life itself feels different, more alive, more responsive, more aligned. You have crossed the threshold from hoping to knowing, from wishing to embodying, from reacting to consciously participating. And as you feel this shift radiate through every cell of your body, you understand in the quietest, most powerful way possible that you have finally become the voice that reality has been waiting for, the presence that life listens to, and the consciousness that shapes existence not by force, but by the persistent, deliberate, and beautifully aligned resonance of your own being.